The Minnesota Wild are getting in on the trading fun and taking advantage of the tough times out in Nashville, as the Wild have acquired Gustav Nyquist from the Nashville Predators for a second-round pick in 2026. Gus Nyquist is a player that perpetually falls into the "I can't quit you" category. I think that he has a very good shot. He has, I think, a real good goal scoring ability. He has a better playmaking ability than I thought when he first kind of broke out in the NHL, but this is a very good hockey player. There is a bit of risk with this one again, though, because he is 35, and he is having just a putrid season with Nashville. Coming off of his best season of his career, he has been doggy doo-doo this year with 9 goals and 12 assists. Now, he is going from a horrendous offensive situation out in Nashville to a pretty good one in Minnesota. We'll see where the Wild are using him. But in Nashville, everything has fallen off this year. It has been the year from hell. Nothing has gone right. And so, yeah, no kidding. This guy doesn't even have the same amount of points right now as he had goals a season ago. But how could you thrive in an offensive situation like that? And so I think it's a smart gamble from Minnesota to see, can this guy in a better offensive system, better offensive setup, take advantage of the skills that he has and help give us a little bit more of a boost in a absurdly loaded Central Division right now with the Jets, Dallas, and Colorado. And we'll talk about the Avalanche in a second. But this gives them a little bit more of a goal-scoring pop. And again, Nashville retaining a little bit of money gives them a little bit more flexibility to make a few more moves coming up here at the deadline. I think they still have around $7 million in salary cap space. So they have some opportunities now to go out and still improve this team while adding quite a bit of potential, I think, to the roster. On the downside of it for Minnesota, second round pick feels like a lot. Second round pick for a rental of Gustav Nyquist, it feels like maybe a bit too much for my blood. But I mean, if there were a bunch of teams that were in there at a 3 and you just wanted him and you felt like there was an actual fit and this is a guy that can help your team, then second and 50% retained and you kind of move on. So I don't mind it. It does leave a little bit of, or it does just smell a little bit of an overpay, but again, with the retention, it gives them a little bit of wiggle room. And for Nashville, like, this is a no-brainer. I think it's a rental. This team might be moving in a younger direction. He's 35 years old. And even if you want to keep him next year, there's no use in keeping him around this year because this team ain't going anywhere. So maybe you re-sign him in free agency come the offseason. Maybe he just loves country music in Nashville and wants to hang out there for the rest of his career. Well, you can do that still. And now you've gotten a second-round pick for him, which, again, feels like the maximum amount of value you are going to get for a Gustav Nyquist. So it's making the best of a bad situation out in Nashville.